How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Minifigure Guru. Today we have another MCU custom set video, and we're starting off 2018 here. We have Black Panther. So Black Panther was a pretty big cultural event. It grossed over $1 billion, and even, if I'm not mistaken, is the first and only superhero movie to have been nominated for Best Picture. Do I think it deserved it? Well, thinking about it, yes, because a factor into that nomination is the cultural significance, and it did have a huge effect on the world. And I do think it's great in that way. It really was something, especially right before Infinity War. I don't think anyone was expecting it to make the impression that it did, per se. And it is a really, really solid movie. Do I think out of all the MCU movies, it deserved Best Picture? No, because there were movies that are obviously more culturally significant. Endgame is the highest grossing movie of all time. There's better put together movies in my opinion. But this one is really good. It had great acting, a solid story, and incredible costumes, and some of the best world building of any MCU movie. What I will say is there is spotty CGI, but that's been torn to death, so I won't do it anymore. But yes, there is a good chunk of rough parts, and of course the whole subplot of the character dying is a bit drawn out, because it's like, really, we know he's not going to die. There's trailers out for Infinity War. But with that being said, it's a great movie. We can get into our first minifigure with Black Panther. So they did technically make this figure, but it's my version. So Lego's version was blue for some reason. Based off concept art probably, but still, it is purple. So I'm so happy with mine. It has these black dotted details in some places, has gray underneath to show the muscles, and then the purple, which kind of goes throughout and gives some highlights and some depth to the figure. And I think the purple and black look so much better than the blue and black, and they're thin and they have these lines through them, and oh man, am I happy with how this turned out. It really is. Props to the costume department here, because it really is an incredible costume, and I'm so happy that it turned out the way it did. It has some claws down at the feet and arm printing that goes on to the Panther part on top. And ideally in the set it would also include a head you could replace it with, because we still have yet to get any version of T'Challa outside of the costume, but we don't have many versions of the characters outside of the costumes. Next up here we have Everett K. Ross. Very simple. He uses the Obi-Wan hairpiece in a gray, has a bit of a worried expression, and a simple black overcoat over a gray shirt with some highlights there, and then very simple black pants. Simple figure, like I said, but I think it turned out really well. Next up here we have Mbaku. So he uses the Mr. T, I believe, hairpiece, the mohawk. He has a stern expression, this green base with armor plating on top, and a bunch of kind of fur details with straps around those. He has this kind of skirt piece that's printed, because there's no real good skirt piece that would represent it. Ideally it would be a skirt piece, but it'd have to be customed to this figure. Again, some more fur and animal printing down at the legs, and then some more plating down there for the calves. I'm happy with how this figure turned out. Very detailed, and that's something you'll find with all of these. They're very detailed costumes, so translating them to Lego is kind of a difficult task. Next up here, the fourth and final minifigure of set number 1 is going to be W'Kabi. This is the dude from Get Out. He uses the Finn hairpiece, has a stern expression, a beard, and some white dots on his cheeks. And then he uses the Mandalorian, or Valkyrie cape. Actually, it's a Valkyrie cape with a skirt piece. And I'm so happy how this one turned out too. These nice simple black lines are really nice to me. Again, costume departments, huge prop to them. You have yellows and grays and these tans. You have some fingerless stuff going on there, and then simple green or olive green pants with some black stripes. Love that figure. This would come in the set Mine Battle. And now, technically, we did get this, but it would just be more accurate. You'd get a little piece of the train and probably a little section. Obviously, the Killmonger suit has been adapted. It would probably be in the set if this was an actual set, but I didn't think it needed to be remade. I thought it was good enough. So that is the Mine Battle. Moving on to December 2, we start off with Killmonger. This would be the third figure we'd have of him, and this is him in his battle kind of outfit. He has a custom hairpiece, and I think the likeness is really, really good for Michael B. Jordan. He has all these dots on his, his torso and arms to show his kills, if I have that correct, and then obviously some muscle printing. Then he has dual molded legs, half olive green, half black, with some details throughout those. Another one I am very happy with. We then move on to Queen Ramota. She has a custom molded headpiece, and along with that, a slight smile, and then her dress that uses a new skirt piece and has some gray detailing throughout. I don't know if we're ever gonna. Well, we're getting that new Wakanda series actually, so we may see a bit more of her, and I'm excited for that. Next up, we have Tachaka, the original Black Panther, or not the original, but the last one. He has the gold highlights. He's in a lighter gray, or lighter black actually. I guess it would be a darker gray. And he has gold and black highlights along with dual molded legs, which are half dark gray and half black, with some gold there as well. And then obviously the centerpiece are those robes that's mainly in purple but has a bunch of colors with oranges, yellows, blues, greens, and variations of all those colors. Man, did that take a long time, but I think it turned out really well. So that is Tachaka. And our final minifigure is going to be Zuri. He uses the Kingsley from the Harry Potter Series 2. He uses that new cloth piece. And then he has this orange printing underneath that has this kind of gold piece that comes from his mid-torso, the middle of his torso down to the side of one of the legs with some simple boot printing there. And that is Zuri. And the set they would come in is the Throne Challenge, obviously. It would come with some simple rocks that you could probably destroy, and some water, most likely. You could do a little waterfall, maybe. And, I mean, you'd probably include a T'Challa, but, the 4 minifigure rule here leaves me with these 4 who I'd want to see the most. And that would be the Throne Challenge. And that's my Black Panther showcase. Hope you enjoyed. Infinity War coming up soon, obviously. I'm really excited to show that off. Quick reminder, or whatever you want to call it in here, that I am actually working on a Harry Potter series that's going to be different from the MCU series, because there will be like real sets, They won't be limited to 4 sets of set. And they won't have to include 4 characters a set. It will be literally sets that you could see in Lego. So I'm excited. I'm on Prisoner of Azkaban right now, and I'm working away at that. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.